Here's what's coming up. Several major roads around the country are expected to experience high traffic congestion as many holiday makers are still making their way to their various destinations before Christmas Day. The festive season is in full swing and the event and entertainment industry expects to make good returns despite the gloomy economy. And it's another dark Christmas for the community of Plantation out in Boksburg as they mark the anniversary of a blast that killed their loved ones. A very good afternoon. We're coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios. This is the week ahead. Thank you so much for joining us. I am your host, Alisha Ntlantla. You can interact with us on our social media platforms. The hashtag there is at the week ahead. And of course, you can interact with us also on the week ahead. Your top story, several major roads around the country are expected to experience high traffic congestion as many holiday makers are still making their way to their various destinations before Christmas Day. However, the Road Traffic Management Corporation was expecting congestion to ease on the NY Highway from Pretoria as the last batch of travellers leave Gauteng.
Traffic volumes peaked at the Pumlani toll gate with 2,600 vehicles passing through per hour. Since the start of the festive season, more than 700 people have lost their lives in road accidents. Most of the deaths occurred in Gauteng, with over 180 people. Pedestrians still account for more fatalities.
Obviously, the road is busy. There are so many accidents, so we're hoping to get home safe.
Guys, please travel safe. Avoid drink and drive for you to be safe. It's for your own sake.
Gauteng Traffic Police say challenges remain, with most road users still not adhering to the rules of the road.
One of the major challenges that we are really facing is overspeeding. Just yesterday evening, we have arrested 3 people. They were doing over 200 km per hour on the N4 freeway. That road, the N4 to Emalathon, it remains a hotspot area for us. And one other challenge that we are facing, pedestrian jaywalking. You see, on this road where we are, it's a freeway. Pedestrians are not allowed to be here, but we find them in large numbers, hitchhiking on our freeways. And that poses a serious threat to their lives as well. So it's one area where we are really having problems. And the same goes with our people who are driving under the influence of alcohol.
The Road Traffic Management Corporation says congestion will begin to ease at Pumulani Plaza. However, the build-up will be experienced further north.
This is the last wave of high traffic volumes that we are seeing, having experienced one even last week. Now this is the last group of people that are leaving for holidays. Others are going to the neighboring countries.
Motorists have also been cautioned to be vigilant as there's been an increase in fatal crashes between 7 and 11 p.m. Mulimane Moto, SABC News, Pretoria.
Travellers waiting to cross to Mozambique at the Libombo border gate in Mpumalanga have raised concerns over delays. The number of travellers has increased in the last few days, leaving motorists stuck in long queues. Many travellers claim to have spent the night in the traffic waiting to be processed.
Another chance to get to Mozambique before Christmas. By Saturday morning, the Libombo border gate was a hive of activity, with trucks, small vehicles, minibus taxis and people all waiting to cross. Most travellers say the processing system is taking longer. The Border Management Authority has acknowledged this challenge.
In the longer term, the Minister of Home Affairs, Dr. Aaron Mutwaledi, had already issued out a request for proposal for the private sector to come over and assist us to redesign these ports, redevelop them so that we can have lanes for the vehicles such as your trucks, lanes for the buses, lane for the taxis, lanes for the small vehicles and also lane for the pedestrians. So that will assist us in the longer term to make sure that we're able to do this work better.
These travellers are heading home for the Christmas holidays. They say getting to the border is easier than crossing over. We do not even understand the queue. The traffic is not moving. We have been here for an hour and a half, but nothing is happening.
siphethwe kahle endleleni kodwa mase sifika
On the
ngaseborder
road, everything went well, but here at the border, things are not okay. I arrived here last night before midnight, hoping to cross the border. But I'm still
before
here.
12 bese ngila elayinini yokucross iborder.
Athi sifikile basiphethwe kahle kodwa basiphethwe kahle because
I am not happy at all. I have been here for a while, about 1 hour 30 minutes. Since the beginning of December, more and more people have been passing through the border to Mozambique.
We're able to process around 28,000 individuals who were actually exiting from South African side going into the Mozambican side. A day before that, we processed around 25,000 individuals. But if we are to look at the time when we started the operation on the 6th of December, up to this point, we have overall processed around 303,000 individuals that had to cross over into Mozambique.
Many more travelers are expected to cross to Mozambique as Christmas Day draws closer. Nhlanhla Jele, SABC News, Komatipoort, Mpumalanga.
Meanwhile, travelers passing through Kimberley on their way to their holiday destinations are encouraged to make a pit stop at the William Humphreys Art Gallery to enjoy a new exhibition which opened on December the 14th. Now, the gallery has been collecting the work of national artists for the past 70 years. It is nestled near National Road and is becoming a popular stop for a brief rest.
Stories of sublimity. This is the theme of the new exhibition. The newly acquired pieces by the gallery deal with different themes and are a delightful reflection of life in South Africa as interpreted by these artists. The body of work features different art mediums, which include charcoal, embroidery, beadwork, and photography. They are a fusion of different creations from different artists of different backgrounds and influences.
Many artists here are from the province, and we wanted to just share with the public the recent acquisitions, and also to allow everyone walking into the museum to get to see something different, to get to see variety of artistic expression from different voices of South African artists. And also it spans across mediums. So you have photography, you have embroidery, you have painting, you have charcoal, and also what I like about it is that it's sort of broad artists across geographic specifics, and it cut across race, gender, and social status.
One of the artists whose work is being displayed for the first time in the Northern Cape relishes the moment. Bongi Bengu, who has been in the industry for many years, says her work currently on show here, titled Mask, tells this story.
The crab mask was inspired by my experience of COVID. It was my own way of transforming a very horrid experience and trying to create a work of art, create some beauty out of it. And the crab has many different symbolism. It can symbolize tenacity, protection, a time of introspection.
Those who visited the gallery to view the exhibition say it's a worthwhile experience.
The art is nice, and some have deep meanings, which is nice to go into depth and look at them and understand what the picture's about.
I heard about the gallery this week when we got here, so I'm always keen to just look around at galleries around South Africa, see historical South African art and see what else we're showing, and then what's coming up in contemporary scenes.
As I walked in today, when you step in, you see a change. I think you see that it's a lot more Afrocentric when you look around the spaces. In 2018, when you used to walk in, it would be a lot more European-influenced artists, but it's nice to see the change of more Afrocentric, pieces, especially pieces that talk about the problems we face in Africa. And that's a lot more, you can, kind of understand that, and you can relate to it, and you can kind of feel the pieces a lot more than before. So it's a very good change to see.
Chief curator at the gallery says his mission is to popularize the arts while giving local marginalized artists the platform to share their craft.
William Humphreys Art Gallery is one of the 3 national art museums, and for me, my vision is for it to be national. Is for it to be. I was reading this article this morning that there are 10 places to see or to visit in Kimberley or in Northern Cape. William Humphreys was number 2. So we would like to have people visiting our gallery to come and see and appreciate the wealth of collection that it has been built over 70 years, and with recent acquisition that accommodated people or artists who were previously marginalized.
The exhibition will run until next year, February. The doors of the gallery remain open for the festive season, except on public holidays. Margaret Mutibi, SABC News, Kimberley.
Compatriots, it brings me great joy to be talking to you as we gather to celebrate Christmas and this festive season, where we take a moment to reflect on the year that is ending, celebrating successes, but also acknowledging some of the challenges of the year. This holiday season, united in our diversity, offers us the opportunity to spend time with family and friends, to rest, create memories, and foster lasting connections that will carry us beyond the festive season and into the new year. Amongst other things, this festive season offers families the opportunity to have intergenerational conversations about their unique lineages, as well as about the history of our beloved nation. We know today that as a country, we have made significant inroads in undoing the legacy of decades of apartheid, spatial planning, and its consequences on the lives and livelihoods of South Africans. As the government, we have accelerated the provision of social services over the past few years by investing in education, healthcare, housing, water, and sanitation, amongst other things. We have seen improvements in access to education, with 6 out of 10 children aged 4 years having access to early childhood development. Secondary education completion rates have doubled. Disability prevalence has decreased from 7.4% to 6% between 2011 and 2022. Over 82.4% of households now have access to piped water, and access to electricity has increased to 94.7% of residents. Nevertheless, we acknowledge that more still needs to be done to establish South Africa as an equal society, where all of us share in the wealth of our country while taking pleasure in being a diverse and growing nation in pursuit of a non-racial, non-sexist, democratic, and prosperous society. The festive season presents us with an opportunity to take a moment to think about those who are less fortunate than ourselves, the sick, vulnerable, and destitute, who are unable to fully enjoy the festive season because of the scourge of social ills. This reality is for us a reminder of how much change is still needed in our society, and we must collectively strive to make our country a better place for all to live in. Compatriots, since Christmas is a time for giving, we must renew our commitment to each other as families and friends. We must remind each other about the values of Ubuntu, and that umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. This is a time for us to show love and care for each other. May the shared joy we experienced during the Rugby World Cup 2023, one of the proudest moments of this year, be reignited throughout this festive season. Once more, we congratulate the Springboks for winning the World Cup. Let's set aside our disagreements once more and come together in a spirit of harmony, because together we are stronger. Let this period also remind us that we are one nation, regardless of socio-economic backgrounds, race, or beliefs. May we use this opportunity to appreciate the little and precious moments that have guided us on the path of social cohesion and nation building. Compatriots, together with stakeholders such as traditional leaders, faith-based organizations, civil society, communities, and donor partners, we have done a lot this year to address gender-based violence and femicide, and contributed in the fight against HIV/AIDS and TB towards the realization of the 95-95-95 targets. During this festive period, we urge that health and other safety precautions are taken into consideration. Taking antiretroviral therapy, contraceptives, and other chronic treatments remains essential. We further urge motorists to adhere to the rules of the road, to arrive alive to their destinations, to drive safely, not drink and drive. When tired, get some rest. Motorists and other road users traveling to various destinations are encouraged to avoid traveling at night, where possible to be more cautious when traveling on weekends, as road accidents are particularly high on these days, as advised by the Road Traffic Management Corporation. To the matric class of 2023, I wish you well as you await the final matric results. We thank the teachers and the parents who have supported them throughout this year. Your commitment to building the future for our country is inspiring. I would like to express my appreciation and gratitude for the tireless efforts of the individuals who have played an important role in our country throughout this year. Health workers, law enforcement officials, firefighters, community workers, faith leaders, and traditional authorities, and all those who have shown much dedication to helping government to provide services to the people of South Africa, especially during this festive season. We appreciate your sacrifices and dedication. Ria leboga, akhensa, bayadanki, siyabonga. Finally, may this holiday season offer all South Africans and our visitors everlasting joy, peace, and happiness. Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
And as Christmas draws near, political parties and members of parliament have extended wishes of goodwill to all South Africans. Some say despite the numerous challenges faced throughout the year, there is hope going into 2024. Others reflected on the need to share with others during this period of giving.
It is that time of the year where all over the world we remember the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It is for that reason, on behalf of the African Christian Democratic Party, I wish you and your family a peaceful and blessed Christmas. And I pray that next year, 2024, will not only be a prosperous year, but that you will have strength to face all the challenges that will be coming against us. We will overcome them by the grace of God. So, Merry, Merry Christmas. A blessed Christmas for you and your family.
Let us also work hard in our neighborhoods so that nobody goes hungry during this period. We know the problems that we continue to confront in society. We must be of help wherever we can to do the best possible wherever we are located in the country, so that with the rest of our neighborhoods in the region, this period becomes a restful one, and we insist and wish for peace elsewhere, and use whatever energy and force we can manage of reasonableness.
On behalf of the Freedom Front Plus, I want to wish each and everyone a joyful and a Merry Christmas. This is a time of the year where we can spend more time with our loved ones, with our friends. This is also a time where we can look back at the past year and be thankful that we received the strength from our Heavenly Father to accomplish what we did. May we all experience His love, a love that He even sent His Son to earth to be crucified for our sins. There is no greater love than that. May we all experience that love amongst each other.
Too many South Africans end this year food insecure and trapped in deep poverty. Our worst year of load shedding has contributed to our economic crisis and has compounded the difficulties that we've all experienced this year. So as we end the year and enter what is meant to be the festive season, we must acknowledge that for many South Africans, the season will not be festive, but will be stressful. Despite all these stresses, we wish all South Africans a peaceful season. And for those celebrating Christmas, we wish you a very Merry Christmas. We truly hope that 2024 will bring new prospects for South Africans, but especially for those who spend their days and nights worried about their family's survival. May we find collective peace, progress, and prosperity.
The African Transformation Movement would like to take this opportunity to wish the Christian community of South Africa a happy Christmas and the citizens at large a happy festive season. The year has been a difficult year for all of us, with the country going through the most, from an incompetency-created avalanche of darkness that has continuously plagued our country, draining the life of our society and its ability to create sustainable growth, to an ailing economy, high unemployment rate, unbearable levels of cruelty at all fronts meted out against the people of this country, to the continuous capture of leaders of the state or patronage politics that have contributed to lack of sound leadership and lack of political will to sort out the many challenges faced by the people of this country.
The Pan-Africanist Congress of Azania wishes all God-loving people a Merry Christmas. It has been a difficult time in 2023 for many who have lost their loved ones through senseless crime and the treacherous roads and other ills of society. The country truly needs prayer. PAC further wishes the country a restful festive season for all, with family and friends and relatives enjoying good times together. The prospects for a better tomorrow and for a greater 2024 are in the hands of the citizens of the land. Merry Christmas.
And while the peak of the festive season is a mere 2 weeks, thousands of South Africans begin planning for this jolly time as early as January. Families, friends, as well as colleagues come together to form grocery as well as meat stockvels, and some contribute money and share the dividends at the end of the year.
There have been, in many ways, a South African December is described. From Ki December boss to every day feels like a Friday ka December to isizi yama bonus. But nothing comes close to the feeling of closing stockvels and dividing the goods accumulated over the months. As witnessed on this main road at Boksburg, a small township between Janefus and Groblersdal. A Stockvel group is found splitting up groceries to be enjoyed this festive season and beyond. According to the group's coordinator, Michelle Maraba, the group has been in existence for 7 years. Starting with 200 Rand each, the group of 16 now contributes 400 Rand monthly for 12 months.
She says, every month we contribute money that we keep at the supermarket. And then, at the end of the year, we have a meeting where we decide, okay, we're going to buy this and this. So we focus on the bulk stuff, like, things that are very hard to buy alone and expensive, like cooking oil. Have you seen? It's 160 at the shops for 5 liters. And there's also sugar, which costs 200 rands.
A first-timer to the world of grocery Stockvel's Ipileng Sebakile is impressed with what 12 months of discipline has amounted to.
This is my first time I joined this year actually. So, but I'm happy with what I'm seeing. I'm actually happy. I'm over the moon. I think until June, so it will push until sharp financially.
For mother of 2, Fidile Masina, the groceries means she will not have to buy basic foodstuffs for 9 months.
She says, we're only 3 in the house, it's just me and my children, so this lasts us a long time. It finished in September now.
A drive through this village sees more people partaking in Stockvel distributions. There is so much that the donkey carts are hired to transport it. When these groceries arrive home, it's all hands on deck as the unloading commences. While some groups opt to pay their monthly contributions to their preferred grocery stores, others, like this one in Sterkfontein, chose to keep their money in the bank and target December sales.
She says, okay, so what we do is we target the sales, we wait for the pamphlets, and then after the pamphlets, we decide what we're going to get. 2 we send there, 2 to send there, and that's how we buy our groceries.
Members of this group say this type of saving helps ease the demands of back-to-school requirements in January.
She says, we notice that food is expensive, and if we club together every month and pay, by the time we share at the end of the year, we see it's easier for us because we would have bought groceries in December, and in January, we focus on school uniform.
And what would a South African December be without a good old braai? It's the South African love for braai vleis that sees many also joining Meat Stockvels. This is what a monthly contribution of 220 rands buys this group of co-workers.
She says, we're 4 women, we're ladies. Every month we take money here to Quality Butcher. They keep it for us. At the end of the year, we come and they give us meat with that money. So this method really helps us because to us, January, we are not suffocating with cabbage. We have enough meat to last us. As a Stockvel, we get together, we do this the whole year, so that our children will have seshebo in December. Even our visitors won't go hungry. There will be more than enough for everyone.
So popular are Stockvels that the owner of this butchery in Groblersdal says she normally sells over a ton of meat in the first 3 weeks of December.
They start coming at the end of November, and then approximately we'll move to a 1 ton plus minus through that goes out through the door until the middle of December.
For these women and thousands of others in Stockvels, 7 colors will be well represented in the Christmas lunch. Mahlako Komane, SABC News, Groblersdal in Limpopo.
While some underprivileged children from the community of Blood River outside Polokwane out in Limpopo have enjoyed a Christmas party hosted by Good Samaritans, non-governmental organizations Thy Rest and the Altar of Glory Church handed out gifts to several orphan children and those from struggling households. Now, the children also took part in a walk calling for an end to gender-based violence.
A joyous Christmas celebration. The day was filled with fun activities for the children. The Christmas spirit was also felt by the adults. The season spirit of giving also in full swing.
We host Christmas party for the kids as part of our prevention programs for gender-based violence. And what we do, we give them gifts. We also do a GBV walk, an awareness walk, with placards that are more of gender, no to gender-based violence, no to killing of children, and then, they are having fun as well. The message is just to say no to gender-based violence, but focusing on the young ones.
The Altar of Glory Church believes that all children need to be protected and cared for, especially during the holiday season.
Here in this village, we saw that it's good to celebrate Christmas party with the little kids. Because some of the children, they don't find this enjoyment or this moment in their homes because this is a rural area.
The children expressed gratitude.
I'm just happy, and I'm happy seeing children playing, and this makes me happy because Pastor made very good things for us.
Me, I'm happy because of Pastor Ramkotedi did have a good idea and minister because they made us happy. In our home, our parents cannot afford to do those things, and we are happy of them. They must keep it up.
During the celebrations, the children also called for an end to gender-based violence. Katlego Nyoni, SABC News, Blood River.
More festive news now. An 85-year-old pensioner from Eshowe in KwaZulu-Natal has received an early Christmas present. Delim Tembo, who lived in a dilapidated house for years, has been given keys to a newly built home. This after the SABC highlighted a plight on social media.
Gogo Delim Tembo from Mtilombo area outside Eshowe on the KwaZulu-Natal north coast has been living in this dilapidated structure for years. The 85-year-old pensioner lived here with her 10-year-old grandson. A local resident who saw this desperate situation intervened and started to share the story of Gogo Mtembu. After the SABC highlighted her plight, the National Department of Human Settlement intervened.
I am so happy everything is beautiful inside my new house. At first, when they told me within a month I would be sleeping in a new house, I did not believe them. I thank God and everyone who contributed to ensuring I will for the first time have a beautiful Christmas.
He says every time he returned home, he would also visit Gogo. The environment she was living in was not good, even though he was also poor, but he really wished Gogo to get a safe house. He took the initiative to get people to help Gogo, and he is extremely happy that they built a house for Gogo. Community members joined hands and assisted during the building of the house. He says the community was united behind this project. The women in the area were assisting by fetching water from the river to ensure that the builders had enough water for the construction. The National Department of Human Settlements says it is prioritizing vulnerable groups for emergency housing.
The department found these destitute queries through a social media, through one of the community members, Mr. Kwabe, and I think one of also the follow-up was made by one of the SABC and department through our ministry. They found that we need to help the destitute families because of where within the emergency housing we normally respond when there are emergency housing needs. However, where there are also destitute families, we come on board to assist. And when we came here, we found that indeed there's a destitute family, an elderly woman, and our minister Kubai, she normally prioritizes the vulnerable groups, which will be your elderly, the child-headed families.
We are the ones that actually constructed this beautiful house. We were approached by the Department of Human Settlement, National Department of Settlement, when they discovered that Ugogo, is living in this place without a proper house. And we actually work with the Department of Human Settlement. So we said, okay, this is within our scope for our social responsibility programs. So we are very happy to be able to extend a hand where we can build an 85-year-old a beautiful house like this one before Christmas so that she can enjoy herself with her grandchildren in a dignified way.
Gogo Mthembu says this Christmas is going to be a memorable one filled with joy. Londi Khatebe, SABC News, Eshowe.
The Machabeng Spring Blow Festival has brought Valcom out in the Free State to a standstill by bringing A-list entertainment to the mining town. Thousands of revelers gathered at the town's Rob Cricket Club to enjoy the festivities.
A jovial, euphoric mood around as revelers from different corners of the country enjoy what the Machabeng Summer Blow Festival has to offer. The annual event that is on its 5th year once again didn't disappoint, with established local and national artists on the lineup.
There's so many people in here, we're enjoying, we're having a lot of fun here. So MSB is making a big event.
Yeah, I have so lot of fun. You see the people are having a lot of excitement. So I have so much.
The event is very good, like the vibe is very good, like the atmosphere. Yeah, like as you can hear, Nasty C is very Nasty C is in the house.
The All-Star event that has attracted many music lovers has always raised the bar each year.
This year it's hectic, when we started doing this event, we were selling the tickets close to 7,000 to 8,000. But now, as I can confirm, at the Compu ticket, we have just crossed 15,000 people. That's excluding the 3,000 for the VIP setup that you see there.
The MSB crew is expected to wrap up its 2-day event on Sunday with a show for the more mature crowd titled Soulful Blow. Refile Mekwa, SABC News, welcome.
The festive season is in full swing and the event and entertainment industry expects to make good returns despite the gloomy economy. The industry has been in recovery mode from a pandemic that devastated it and many others. PricewaterhouseCoopers says the entertainment and media industry is set to grow to over 230 billion rand in the next few years.
Isaac Maubani and his business partners started their Pizza Sunday as a street food market with inspiration from the neighbor goods market and Maboneng. They then decided to bring the concept to Tembisa in the east of Johannesburg in 2016, where it was well received.
When you bring something new, there's always that mindset that what if people don't like it? What if people think, oh, this is not something, but we managed to pull it off. And people loved it, We went on from 2016 all the way to 2018. And we used to host this every month.
Yeah.
So you can understand how it was, the logistics of it and everything. But we got used to it, the gist of it. And that's how we initially built this whole thing.
Oh, okay.
In Kimberley, the entertainment manager at Motswako says the establishment attracts mainly tourists. Tabang Khoducha says business has been good and consumers have been spending money, especially with popular themes such as Mokhodu Mondays.
Motswako is a tourist attraction, so whenever people go to other cities, they pass by Motswako. have a good time, then they can leave.
The draw card for events is the lineup of artists booked. And one of the major challenges that the industry faces is the no-show of artists, which can harm the reputation of organizers and the brand, all leading to costly legal disputes.
That one is so heartbreaking. And what you said, the artists won't see anything all along. If you communicate with them, they'll say, no, it's fine, we're coming. Come the 11th hour of the event, find such. And it's denting the image of the place very much. Even for the past week, Monday was supposed to host the lady who was hosting on Sunday. We only found out the money that she can't come because of personal reasons. Her mom was sick and stuff. So some things you just have to make an exemption. You can't control such things.
In events business, one of the key things is the dates and the times.
Yeah.
And that loyal relationship you have with artists.
Okay.
Fortunate enough for us, we haven't had a lot of artists that don't page to events, especially big ones, or especially when we do our big events. So it's the commitment, and running this place on its own makes that relationship with artists easy, because most of them are people that we book on a regular basis. So the relationship between us and them is strictly professional. They honor our invites, and then we do what we're supposed to do on our side. But in a case where an artist won't page, obviously what we then need to do is just communicate to the people that bought the ticket.
Maubane reiterates the contribution of the entertainment industry to the mainstream economy, and more particularly the township economy, that it cannot be sneezed at. Khoduga expects a bumper season in 2024.
2024 is going to be massive. We already have our calendar in line. We've been planning for 2024. And so far we haven't had any events because we're planning for 2024, doing our calendar so that we know for the first quarter what are we going to do, the second quarter until winter.
On that day, our township alone manages to raise or employ or change lives in a certain way. So it's a very special thing, and it's a very special feeling for us, because these are the people that we do it for.
Diabo Seto, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Well, Overstreet, one of the most famous and festive streets in George out in the Western Cape, is once again lit up for this festive season. And this year is a bit different, with the residents paying tribute to all their neighbours who have been affected by cancer. And besides entertaining residents, they're also giving back by donating to Cancer and Chalk, the Childhood Cancer Foundation.
Bringing joy to children and adults alike, the Christmas displays and lights are a tradition for Overstreet residents. This tradition goes back as far as 20 years. It's not only the locals who go to see the lights, but also visitors. This year, many opened up their hearts and wallets towards a good cause.
This year we decided to dedicate this to cancer. Out of the 35 houses in the street, we've got 9 people that's either conquered cancer or is battling cancer at the moment. Cancer's got no age or borders, so it can strike anywhere, anytime. So that's why we decided we're going to dedicate this to cancer this year.
9-year-old Overstreet resident Yana was diagnosed with leukemia when she was 7. The good news is that she will soon be ringing the bell, signalling the end of her treatment.
I feel really happy about that, and it's just not nice to have leukemia, and it's like nice to feel I'm almost done. And my supporting for Chalk is I want to help them, but I can't. So she is asking for donations for cancer.
There's not many people who haven't been affected by cancer, be it friends or family members. So for visitors, they were happy to donate to and be part of a good cause.
My grandfather, he had also a cancer-related disease, so why not support it? That's the biggest thing. So I encourage everyone to come out here, especially up the road there. They're supporting children cancer, and they take any form of donation. So please come and support them.
For those wanting to see the Overstreet lights, they will be on until the new year.
Segwi Chetty, SABC News, George in the Western Cape.
Welcome back to the week ahead. It's another dark Christmas for the community of Plantation in Boksburg as they mark the anniversary of a blast that killed many of their loved ones in December of last year. The families of the Boksburg blast victims are still struggling to find closure 1 year after the fateful Christmas Eve explosion. Scores were left injured and dead after a gas tanker became wedged under a bridge in Plantation in Boksburg in Eguruleni and exploded near the Tambo Memorial Hospital. A year later, the victims' families say it's hard to celebrate the festive season and Christmas while they still don't have closure, as this serves as a bitter reminder of their loss and pain.
I don't think I will ever celebrate another Christmas. Just knowing they came here to spend it with us and then they died. It's so unfair.
Crushing pain after this 2022 Christmas Eve horror. Gillian Dace lost her sister, 42-year-old Elise Geduld, and nephew, 18-year-old Janelle Geduld.
A video that went viral of my nephew, and this is where we saw that he was badly injured and he was asking people for help, and there was a guy that told him to get himself to hospital, and he said, but sir, I'm in pain. So I don't know what happened after that.
The truck was wedged under this bridge. It suffered some damage and leaked liquefied petroleum gas. This triggered a massive explosion just 100 meters from the Tambo Memorial Hospital. The blast ripped through this small community. Several homes were also damaged. At the time, it was a scene of pandemonium and devastation.
It's been a hectic last 2-3 days. For me, for the family, it's a huge loss. I'm just left with my daughter.
1 year later, the events of the tragic day not forgotten. The blast killed 41 people. On the 1 year anniversary of the tragedy, the wounds remain fresh.
Oh, it's totally broken us, all of us. The family is divided. My son's taking it so bad, both of them. It's not easy, but we have to carry on, take it one day at a time.
40-year-old Rosetta Brits perhaps lost more than most. Her 4 children perished in the explosion. 16-year-old Jamel Eels and her 3 brothers, Sebastian Brits, Adrian Brits, and Gerry Brits. For their mother, it's a journey of healing and spirituality.
I spoke to them and asked them, give me strength, and I want to know what's going on. And then they gave me to say, okay, Mom, go on. Don't worry about us. We're happy on our place better than on earth.
But Christmas remains bleak and daunting for some.
It's like reliving the whole process all over. Christmas won't be Christmas without my other children.
6 firefighters were injured in the blaze. 12 healthcare workers also perished when the blast ripped through parts of the hospital. A wall of remembrance was unveiled to honor them for their sacrifices. Their families also struggle to enjoy the spirit of Christmas.
Well, we'll try to celebrate Christmas. It won't be normal. Of course, it can never be normal because you always remember, what happened on that day.
It's painful, but nothing you can do. There is a thing that is beyond your control.
As this community marks the anniversary of that fateful day, the hospital has since undergone repairs to the structural damage incurred.
After all the counseling, after all the prayers, the grace of God, we have been able to move forward. And so really we are looking forward to a blessed Christmas, whereby we'll be able to look back and remember those whom we work with.
Although some normality has returned since the blast, this breach where the explosion occurred still piles of rubble. A year on, the bridge where the gas tanker got stuck and exploded remains closed and under construction. It serves as a bitter and painful reminder of the extent of devastation that engulfed this community on Christmas Eve last year. The 32-year-old gas tanker driver who drove under the bridge despite its height restrictions was charged with several accounts of culpable homicide, but all charges were later withdrawn against him due to insufficient evidence. The family say this has robbed them of justice.
It's almost as if everything's being swept under the rug. The company responsible for that truck going under the bridge, I don't know. We're not happy with that outcome.
One side I'm angry because not the company or the boss or no one came to see how we are, how can they help or nothing. They just disappeared.
While on the journey of mending, the anguish, bitterness and heartache are all just too palpable. Healing has only just begun. Patricia Fasachi, SABC News in Plantation, Boksburg.
All right, and on that note is where we're going to leave it for today. Let's hope you enjoy the rest of your festive season. We're back again next weekend. Do take care.